This is a microphone. This is a microphone. This is a microphone. And this is a microphone? What? Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is something that belongs in a plumber's bag, but this actually is the Periscope. It's a badass microphone, which is the world's first that has a built-in compressor. And the Periscope has been tested by a couple of different places, including things like Sound on Sound, Tape-Op, Mixdown, and even Resolution Magazine gave it Microphone of the Year for 2021. So what kind of microphone is this, and what should I be using it for? Now, before we get going with some audio tests, I just want to take one moment to actually talk about the box it comes in. This isn't a box, this is a case that looks like it's ripped directly out of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's absolutely beautiful, it's full leather, and as you open up the latches, it reveals the Periscope inside with the Periscope label and also the mic stand adapter as well. It's just gorgeous. It's got a lovely handle, obviously, if you want to carry it to a different location, and absolute full marks to Scopelabs for the production of not just the microphone, but the case itself. So what kind of microphone is this? Well, it's an electric condenser microphone. It does need 48 volts phantom power with a 10mm capsule diameter, and the polar pattern is omni, which is surprising because you would think that it'd be directional. But when you hear this thing, you understand why, because it's meant to pick up the room. The frequency response is from 20 Hz to 16,000, and with the adapter, which you get with it, obviously that can go onto any mic stand. It weighs around about a pound or 500 grams. Obviously it's made of pure metal. It is really, really sturdy, and there are no controls on it whatsoever. The compressor is built in and it's XLR in. The idea behind this is that you just set it up, plug it in, hit record and go. There's no settings to be done, there's no EQ to be done because we've got the compressor built in. Other microphones would need time to be dialed in to get the sound this does, and that's the whole point. You plug it in, you point it at what you want to record, you hit record, and you go. Even though this is 48 volts phantom power, it is sensitive, but boy can you throw things at it. The capsule and the circuitry can handle an immense amount of sound pressure, but you have to be aware that if you get too close to it or it is too much of a wall of sound, like any microphone, it has its limits and you will get distortion. Now ideally the microphone is really, really good when you pair it with another one. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to actually do a couple of things where I'm going to sing, I'm going to speak into the microphone, and we're going to mic up the acoustic guitar. And we'll pop it through those tests and see what this steampunk designed microphone can really do. Apart from setting the gains, which I'll put up on the screen, there's going to be no processing done, and I'm going to be recording into Logic Pro on a completely flat channel. Ooh, looking at you. Okay, so our first test. The audio you've been listening to so far has been the Rode Video Mic Go 2, which is sitting on top of my camera. It's there. And that's what you can hear right now. I'm going to switch over. So we've got the Stealth mic, which is by Aston Stealth mic. It's on V1 because it's got 4 different circuitries. And I've done a video all about this. And this is the microphone I use for live streaming. I use it for interviews. It's a little bit more of a sort of nice narrating microphone, but you can sing into it as well. And now we're going to switch over to the Periscope. So the great thing about these two is you don't have to be right up against them to get a really good sound. Remember, this has got a built-in compressor, but I would probably, if you're going to go real close onto it, maybe put a pop shield on there, because you could probably hear that. So if I'm about sort of like 6 or 7 inches away from the microphones, you can hear it, and I'm going to be switching between them just so you can hear what the difference is. Now, the great thing about this is you could put both of these up and then mix them together. So you could actually have the Aston Stealth there. It's got a bit more of a deeper tone. This has got a bit more of a mid-tone, and it's picking up the area a lot more. So it's probably hearing a lot more of the clicks and more noise if I tap on the table, and you can hear that a lot more because it's got an omnidirectional capsule. So that's for speaking. What's it like for singing? As the stream turns into ocean, boats rise and defy the tide. Both of them run to each other. Valancy sees Jordan's eyes. Just a quiet and peaceful village, tucked away from the busy lights. Now they're thrown into the spotlight as the riverbanks lose their fight, yeah. This time we've actually got the Aston Element mic with the pop shield on. I've just tapped it. And we've got the Periscope as well. So the Aston, again, is online with the Periscope, just in the right form. And again, I'm around about sort of like 6-7 inches away from both microphones. And I'm switching between them in post-production. Again, the recording into Logic Pro, we haven't done anything in post-production. The only thing is the volumes. So the volumes on the Audio Fuse Studio, which is my audio interface, are about 1/3, and they've both got 48 volts phantom power. So there we go. That's the difference in speaking between the Aston Element and also the Periscope. As the stream turns into ocean, boats rise and defy the tide. Both of them run to each other. Valancy sees Jordan's eyes. Just a quiet and peaceful village, tucked away from the busy lights. Now they're thrown into the spotlight as the riverbanks lose their fight, yeah. Again, you're now hearing the Rode Video Mic Go 2, and just for comparison, this is the Fifine K8. This is what I use for looping live when I go out to pubs and clubs, and then we've got the Periscope. So this is the Fifine K8. This is my stage microphone. This is what I use all the time. Now, normally I'm really close to it and I'm really high up here. But of course, I'm stepping back a little bit just to be on par with the Periscope. And then we've got the Periscope. And then, of course, between the two, we have to obviously push the gain up a little bit on this one. So this is actually 2/3 up. It doesn't take 48 volts phantom power, whereas, of course, the Periscope does. As the stream turns into ocean, boats rise and defy the tide. Both of them run to each other. Valancy sees Jordan's eyes. Just a quiet and peaceful village, tucked away from the busy lights. Now they're thrown into the spotlight as the riverbanks lose their fight, yeah. Okay, so for this next part, I'm just doing spoken word. And the reason for this is because I want to hear what it sounds like myself, just using the Periscope on its own without mixing it in with another microphone. It's a really unique microphone, and also the reason for this is this video is sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid is a music distribution company. If you've got songs that are ready and you want to push them out there in the world, DistroKid can help. You give your songs to DistroKid and they push it out to all the online stores and musical streaming sites around the world, including places like Facebook, Instagram, and even TikTok. Now, most music distributors charge you per release. So if you're releasing a single, an EP, an album, they'll charge you for each single one. DistroKid don't do this. They charge you one price per year, which starts at $19.99. And we can help you save 7% off your first annual membership with the link that's on the screen. It's also in the description box below. DistroKid have so many cool little things that you can do, like promo cards. They have a hyperfollow page, which is basically a link for every release you've ever done. And it means you can just promote that one link, and then your fans can decide on which streaming service they want to listen to your music on. They can split the money into different ways if you've got different band members. And if you go up one to Musicians Plus, which is $35.99 a year, that gives you the option for 2 bands, but also you can schedule the date of the release. You can also customize the label name, so you can have your own label, plus customize the pre-order date, customize the iTunes pricing, and there's so much more. You even have a label tier if you want to manage multiple bands or if you're in multiple outfits. So if you're thinking of making music and releasing music in 2023 and beyond, have a look at DistroKid with the special link that's on the screen. It's in the description box as well, and you'll save 7% off your first annual membership, no matter which tier you choose. Even if you choose the label tier, the Musicians Plus tier, or the normal tier, you'll get 7% off your first annual membership. Thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. Give it a click and start releasing your music today. Now, let's have a listen to what this sounds like with an acoustic guitar. Again, everything's been recorded in Logic. It's on a completely flat setting. There's no plugins, there's no EQs or anything like that. There is no post-production other than what you can hear coming through this microphone. So what do I think of this? Well, it's a really unique microphone, and I think it has a couple of unique use cases. It's not going to be for everyone. I wouldn't take this out on stage or use it with a loop pedal on stage. Because of that omni-capsule, it's just going to pick up everything. You certainly wouldn't use this in a pub. However, in a studio environment, this is where this is at home. Now, other videos I've actually seen people use this on drums, capturing the room element of the drums. It's a bit like a microphone that glues everything together. Its sound and its look is really unique, and with that built-in compressor, like I said before, you can just plug it in, hit record, and go. In the right environment, this microphone sounds fantastic on its own, but merging it with another microphone and getting that bleed between the two sounds even better. Now, if you want to go and pick one of these up, I've left that in my Throne storefront. The Throne storefront is a one-page link where you can go and see everything I've ever reviewed, and then go and get the best prices for something like this. I just want to thank Scopelabs for sending this out to me. I am going to have to return it, although I really don't want to. Now, one of the microphones I paired the Periscope up with was this one, and this is the Aston Element. This is a unique microphone itself with its own qualities, and if you want to see the video all about that, it's right here.